Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at my wildcard draft in anticipation for game week 5. So if you don't know, I've decided to wildcard during the international break, give me 2 weeks to plan my team. I usually do this in past seasons if I stick to my tactics. So I'm doing it this season, I'm feeling good, and I'll let you know in the next couple of slides about what my team's looking like. Make sure to check out my Twitter, Captain FPL1, I'll be posting all the updates on it. And my final team just before the deadline. And also LeeCo39ROED, and subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and comment below what you think of my draft, because I love to get people's opinions on it. So without further ado, let's jump into the draft. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start with the players that have managed to keep their spots in my team at the moment. So Nick Pope, easy choice for me. I think 4.5 million goalkeepers are the way to go this season. And he just offers great value. And Burnley have got some great fixtures, so he's an easy one. Luca Dean, best defensive asset for Everton in my opinion. Everton keeping clean sheets as well, and he's getting attacking returns. And with Wobie in the side now, could get even more returns. So fingers crossed with that. Zinchenko, he's in it at the moment. I'm a bit worried because of the City rotation now. Laporte's out. I don't know who's going to be starting. and Mendy nearly back in the side, and the threat of Cancelo at left back. So again, I'll talk with this later about my plans. Lundstrom, cheap enabler, we love him, stays in there. Salah and Sterling, you can't go wrong with them, got to keep them in my team. And then Vardy and Pukki. Vardy's my guy. You know, people said, oh, well, his fixtures are a bit hard. And I said, nah, he can score against anyone. He can score against anyone. So he's staying in there. And Timu Pukki, yes, hard fixture against City, and he blanked last week. But Norwich have some great fixtures, so I'm going to keep him in there for that. So now let's look at the players that are going to be joining the side at the moment. So we start with Kevin De Bruyne. Now, I had him at ironing from the start of the season, but when Sterling was performing so well in pre-season, apparently De Bruyne was sitting deeper, I didn't put him in. But he's showing consistency, he's showing really good, and I think he's imperative that City side. So I've got him in, I don't want to miss out. So double City midfield, pretty heavy, but I think it'll be payoff. Dan James, probably the best United asset for this season at the moment. He's been scoring, but taking lots of shots. So I think he's a great option if you can get him. My only worry though is rotation, and I will talk about that in the following slide. And then Tammy Abraham. I think Chelsea are now kicking into gear, and he's the man who's going to get the goals. I think Frank Lampard likes him as well. So yeah, I think he's a good fixture in my side. And then the bench, yeah, Button, I fancy to change him a goalkeeper. Cantwell, the best sub 5 million midfielder, definitely represents great value, and Norwich is such an attacking side. Martin Kelly and Hanley, just some cheap players. I think Hanley is probably the most likely of the 4 millions that's going to definitely play. Obviously, Norwich will not keep clean sheets, but it's still good to get that 1 point on your bench to know that you've got at least a point that's going to come on. That being said, let's look at my team thoughts and alternatives in the following slide. So, my thoughts. Obviously, the green is good and the red is bad. So, the green, we've got the City defensive coverage, we've got Luca Dean, we've got a strong attack. I'm very happy with this. But obviously this means that I've omitted Liverpool defenders. I think, yes, Liverpool have only got 1 clean sheet this season, but I think they're going to start racking up more. They've got good fixtures. I think you've got to have one. Trent I really want, but I can't stretch to him. And this is why I've got Van Dijk and Matip as the question mark about who I want to put in. Van Dijk, obviously, security starts. You'd want to put one more than Matip, but I think Matip could be the cheap gem in the way to that Liverpool defence. Joe Gomez, obviously a huge threat, but Matip started all the games apart from the first game of the season, and I want to say that Gomez is going to be the man that starts in Champions League. I think game week 5 is going to be a big telling of who's going to start, and I'm hoping that it's going to be Matip and Van Dijk, because then Gomez should be the man that starts midweek. But to be fair, it's early on in the season, players shouldn't be that tired, so maybe Klopp will play Matip and Van Dijk in the Premier League, and then Gomez will play it right back in the Champions League. We don't know. Triple Norwich, obviously I've got Pukki, Cantwell, Hanley. I'm not too fussed about that. I think Pukki and Cantwell I want to keep, but it would be Hanley that would find a way out, because obviously Norwich don't keep clean sheets, but he's just in there because I know he's going to play, because all the defensive injuries are happening to the Norwich players at the moment. And then the European football rotation. This is the biggest thing I think wildcarders need to worry about. In between Game Week 5 and Game Week 6, we've got the first European fixtures, and this includes obviously all the top 6. If we go through them, Arsenal and Spurs. Spurs, I'm not bothered about them. I'm a Spurs fan, and I think that there's not really an asset that's looking like a must-own. Harry Kane, I thought, was a must-own, but he hasn't lived up to it. I want to see more form from him, more explosive nature. He just seems to be sitting back that a little bit too much. He's getting shots off, but sitting back. Heung-min Son is the other man that's going to be. It's interesting to me. He looks like he could be the one, but the problem is Pochettino likes to rotate, much like Unai Emery. Ceballos at 5.7 looks like an absolute gem. We don't know if he's going to start, and this is the problem. We need to know if players are going to start, and I think this is the one thing. This is why I would go Van Dijk over Matic, because I know Van Dijk's going to start every single game, because without him, Liverpool have not got a defence, because he's the man that organises it. But this is where I have Tammy Abraham. Haller looks like a great option, because I know he's going to start every single week, and West Ham have got some superb fixtures coming up. However, Chelsea, Tammy Abraham is one of 3 really good strikers for Chelsea, and there's a chance that he might get rotated or his minutes get managed. Frank might use him in the Champions League, and we might see Batshuayi maybe starting in the Premier League or Giroud. Well, I don't know. So I want to move Abraham to Haller. Now I've got value in Abraham and Dan James. So once they've gone up in price again, I can sell them for 0.1 more, and that can go towards getting Haller. I've got a whole plan sorted out, and hopefully that will be finished by the time Gameweek 5 comes around. City again, the defence. Defence is, I think the midfield is fine. Sterling and De Bruyne, I think, are going to start every week. I mean, De Bruyne, he might get 65 minutes, depending on how City's games go. But I think Sterling is definitely going to start. Sane is out injured, and they have Bernardo Silva and Mahrez that will fight for the right-hand side. So I think Sterling is definitely set in the team. But the City defence, this is where I'm looking at Otamendi, purely because I think Zinchenko, he's going to be fine maybe 2 more game weeks, but Mendy's coming back. Cancelo can play at left back. There's a worry there. I think Stones is obviously coming back from an injury as well. Laporte's out. So it should be Otamendi and Kyle Walker that will start Game Week 5 together with Cancelo at right back. So Otamendi I might go to. Obviously we know he's an attacking centre-back as well, from set pieces. It's hard. I've been thinking of not having any City defenders in my side, but I think there's their clean sheet potential. It might be worth the risk. You might get one of them benched 1 week and then they'll come out next week. It might have to be done. This happened with Sterling last season. People would transfer him out as soon as he got benched 1 week. But you know he's going to start next week, so you might as well just keep him. So this is what I might have to do. So I will be considering all the options for my team. And obviously I'll let everyone know on Twitter about what's happening with it. So those are my thoughts. I think, yeah, if you're wildcarding, you have to think about... Wildcard's a long-term thing for me. Because you haven't got another wildcard till the second half of the season. So I'm going to be building long-term. And that's why, European football is a big thing to consider. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And let me know down in the comments what you think of my team. What would you change about it? Any suggestions as well? I'm always open to suggestions. And if you want to tweet me as well, tweet me at CaptainFPL1. I respond to everyone that interacts with me. FPL community, we're here to just talk about FPL because we love it. And make sure to subscribe and like as well. And I'll catch you next video. And hopefully all the wildcards go well if you're wildcarding.